Thank you. Well, first of all, I would like to say thank you for everyone that is here that took some time to join us here today. We really appreciate. Also, if look that I am nervous, it is because I'm nervous. So a lot of people ask for me to do this presentation in Portuguese because the majority here is Brazilian, but no, I'm gonna stick to English. And I would like to say that this is not like an academic presentation. This is not research. This is part of a compilation of 12 years of experience working with water sports in the Amazon, especially most recently the last 3 years that we are working with seasons of expedition that we organize. So I never did this before, and I consider it to be a challenge. And before I start, I would like to say two things. One is that there is no idea so good that cannot be improved. So for the last 10 years, I've been working, more than 10 years, I've been working with canoeing, with every aspect that you guys can imagine. So I understand that maybe my point of view could be compromised. So I would appreciate a different perspective from people that maybe are not so engaged to this topic. You can be today by the end of the presentation, can be another time, can be another opportunity. But I really appreciate it, so consider that. Another thing is a Hawaiian expression that says, no task is too big when done together by all. And I say that to state that although you guys are seeing me here, actually I represent a lot of people, just the two of them that are here, but other people that are not here. And all those people are responsible for the things that you guys are gonna see here. So you may consider that that's why I'm speaking here, I'll be the responsible, but no, there's a lot of really passionate and talented people that make those things happen. So what I would like to say is that if you guys feel inspired or like the presentation, one suggestion that I can give is like, look for people that you really like, that you really respect, that you really love. I noticed that I didn't say people that agree with you in order for you to do your projects. Okay, so without further ado, let's start it. This is my city, which I love and miss. It's called Belém and is in the Pará state in Brazilian Amazon. And as you guys can see, it's a city surrounded by water. And this is me 12 years ago. And you may don't notice because of the hair, but it's this guy. So 12 years ago, I started paddling. And when I started, I felt that I didn't want to paddle by myself, paddle alone. I wanted my friends to paddle with me. I wanted my family to paddle with me. I even want strangers to paddle with me. Especially because, as I said, when I started in Belém 12 years ago, the city, although it's surrounded by water, we didn't have anybody paddling. We didn't have like clubs, schools, stores, tours. We didn't have anything. So I consider this to be really contradictory. So I thought it would be interesting that more people start paddling. Also because I understand that when people are paddling, when they are more connected to the nature, in this case to the water, they are able to engage more. They are able to think different about topics like conservation and pollution and degradation, etc. So in 2008, we created our first canoe club called Marentesa, where everything started. And when Marentesa started, as I told you, we didn't know actually nothing about paddling. We didn't have like a person who was really experienced that told us like, guys, this is a really good thing for you guys to work, so you can follow this. We didn't have anybody telling us that. So we learned a lot from our own experience, from our own mistakes, and we tried to cover all of the bases that we could. So We organized expeditions. We took people to go into the water, explore many rivers, explore every place that we were able to enter with our small kayaks. We tried to learn more about technique. We tried to engage more in competitions. We try to learn more about safety, like first aid. We try to learn more about techniques, about how to go to open water, etc. And we even learn about how to make our own boats. And 12 years later, this is the result. Almost 100% of those other new clubs or new schools that existed or that exist now, you can trace back some kind of connection with Marinteza. So those people that have their own clubs now, in some way, in some moment, they paddle with us, they learn with us, they consult with us, we help them to create their own clubs in Belém and even in different states of Brazil. Like those guys here are from Sergipe, and those guys here are from Maranhão. One of the schools, the clubs that were created with this experience that we get along those years is Canoa Pai d'Água, which is a canoe club that me and Anna create in 2016. And Canoa Pai d'Água was pretty much similar to Marinteza in a way that we also want people to engage, to connect with nature, to go to the water, but with a little difference. Something that I consider actually really important is that more than just want people to go to the water, we realized that with our new club, we had the opportunity to show to everybody in Brazil, but like I'm doing here, also to the world, our roots, our Amazon roots. So we have many things that we did and we are still doing that like they're related with the name that we choose for our club, the name that we choose for our canoes, the kind of stamps that are in our t-shirts that wants to rescue our roots, our traditional, our indigenous people tradition, our native people tradition. And in 2017, we decided to organize an expedition, which was unique at the time and until today. So we decided to leave from Santarém, which is the city over there, and we paddled on the Amazon River until Belém in 2017. So it was 540 miles in 11 days. And this expedition, actually, if you guys want to see what happened, it became a TV show with 2 episodes that you guys can watch online. Just look for Expedição Pará. So the next year, before next year, this is a few pictures from 2017 expedition. So you have here, you have the Amazon River, and here below you can see that, yeah, we love to paddle. We could do this like for many years, but our expeditions are not only related with paddling. We visit state parks at like Pema, which is Parque Estadual de Monte Alegre, State Park of Monte Alegre, with those descriptions that have more than 12,000 years old. We also visit many communities, and this one in this case is I don't know if this is a word, but it's like former African slaves communities. Yeah, descendants. And this is another point of view from Pema. So yeah, we like to paddle, but we also like to engage in many other things that we have along the way. So in 2018, we organized 2 expeditions because one was not enough. But instead of paddling the Amazon River, we decided to travel on the Tapajós River. So we left from Santarém city, which is here, and we paddled until Orlândia, which is the city that Henry Ford created 90 years ago to explore rubber from the forest. And what can I say? At the same way that we did before, we try to engage people in the way of native people live and transport themselves in the Amazon. So in a lot of regions in the Amazon, you don't have roads, you only have rivers. So people use boats to transport. And actually, some trips are so long that they need to sleep in the boats. So that's what we did. We traveled for 6 days, also sleeping with the boat and paddling in many nice places. In 2019, we organized also 2 expeditions. One in the Tapajós River, which is this one here, also using mothership boats, as we call. So what we can say here, it's something that we are really proud and really like in our expeditions, that despite the fact that you may consider that this is not like something for you, we want that anybody would like that anybody can be able to participate in one of our expeditions, even child. So as we have a boat and the person that is steering the canoe, we are always connected with the radio. So if you're tired, you just say, I'm tired, I want to go to the boat. And so you can stay in the boat and relax. And if you want to keep paddling, you just say, I don't want to change now, I want to keep paddling. So this is how you can graduate your own effort. And this year, 2019, we organized the Tapajós River Expedition, and we also organized the Arapiuns River Expedition. The Arapiuns are tributary from the Tapajós River. And we paddle until this waterfall here, that is Aruan Waterfall, which is also a tributary from Arapiuns River. So I just want to situate you guys now where we are talking about. So this here is Belém, this is the Amazon, Brazilian Amazon, this is the Tapajós River, okay? You have South America here, and we are here again, okay, Pará State. This is the Tapajós River, and I have a bigger map. And something that you can see here is that at the Tapajós River, which is the place that we now work for the last 2 years, you have many communities along the river in the national forest called Vianna, Tapajós, and you also have many communities in this side and in this side in the structured reserve Tapajós. So this is the place that we've been working for the 2 years, and this is the place that we want to keep working for the next years, because you saw the pictures, it's really nice, but also you can see here, and this is the part that is fauna, and over there, the Aztecs, that it is an area that it is suffering a lot of pressures, in this case for deforestation, but also the Tapajós River, it is a corridor for soybean production, and all around they have cattle production, they have mining, and they have many things, just like all of the parts of the Amazon. But this is like something that makes us think that we want to work tourism as an alternative to show that it's an economic alternative. And what's next? Well, in my opinion, what is next is that we have 2 situations. So one of the situations is that now I'm here at UF. So I have all this experience that I bring from all of those years working, and I want to be able to learn more, but in another way here in UF, and that's why I applied for the master, and that's why I'm also in the beginning of this year we were able to talk with Paula, and Paula talked with us about a plan that she had about realize expeditions, realize a competition in the UNEO. And we told Paula the limitations that we have regarding logistics, regarding money, regarding equipment, but we didn't want to just say, hey Paula, this is not possible to happen. So we invite her to be part of one of our expeditions this year. And especially because we as you can see here, we are in Jamarapá community, also in the fauna, and we want to show her how we are able with our expeditions to engage communities. in a project that we are very happy about it, comfortable about it, and we believe that this project is possible to replicate it in a different place. In this case, the mosaic of the. So I will let Paula explain more a little bit about this. Thank you.
Hello, good afternoon. It's very good to be back in this community. I'm very happy to see you all. So I was very lucky to be in the right moment, talking with the right person, and I got to know Igor and Anna when I came in 2017 to UF. So I made contact with them this year, and now we're gonna see what happens. So as Marcelo introduced me, I work for the government for management of protected areas. So I will show here my viewpoint as protected area manager. So if well managed, tourism is a very effective way of reconciling conservation and development in protected areas, especially in the Brazilian Amazon, where the context is of very huge territories, very huge protected areas, with most people are poor and depend on the extraction of natural resources to live. And people in urban areas are very disconnected from nature. So we see tourism has many benefits. It can improve local governance, as we are a very few people managing those areas, so we cannot monitor the whole territory. So we improve governance, we can have higher income for the local people and development, as most people see conservation units as not a way to, once you create a reserve, there is no development, it's only nature protection. So it's time to change this reality and change people's mind about it. Also, it's an excellent way to connect visitors to nature and to this protected area and create awareness on the importance of conserving the Brazilian Amazon forests. So, but there are some challenges involved. For us, as managers of tourism in these areas, we have to offer and diversify the opportunities for visitors, also improve the quality of visitation in these areas, and especially challenging is how to communicate the importance of these areas for society, where you have the local visitors, the regional, the national, and the international. So there is a wide audience with very different backgrounds, cultures, interests, and expectations. So this is the mosaic of Lower Negro River, where we intend to have a prospection next year and potentially a new expedition in 2021, hopefully. So this area is a huge conserved territory in Amazonas state, in central Amazon, where you have, it covers 7.5 million hectares of forest. It's more, the whole block, it's more than the sum of Netherlands, Belgium, and Luxembourg together. It's really huge territory. And we have different kinds and categories of protected areas, municipal, state, and federal protected areas. And they go from very strict protection to more inclusive and sustainable use kinds of protected areas. And we also have, this is officially recognized by the Ministry of Environment in Brazil since 2010. We have a consultation board for the whole mosaic, where we have, where sit together representatives of the municipal, state, and federal government, also communities and NGOs and other actors. So the idea is to look at, not at each person look at our own territory, but look at this broader area. and how to have a good governance and effective governance of this block. Just forgetting something. Some of these conservation units were recognized by UNESCO as World Heritage Sites, and also the Nebel River was recently declared as a Ramsar site. There is an area important for protection of humid areas in the planet. So it's a very special place. And it's that has a high potential for tourism because it's very close to Manaus. There is a capital with 2 million people here. And there is no mosquitoes. So people like it a lot, and it's really good. So there are many things going on right now in the for tourists there. Like you can go through terrestrial trails or aquatic trails. They are the most popular trips people make. In the wet season, where the river goes up to 12 meters, you can go through in canoes, in the riverine canoes that local people have. You can go in the flooded forest. It's a very nice trip. But you also have, it's very common also to observe the fauna, the flora. There is cultural tourism as well. There are ruins of an old town back from the old village, back from the 17th century. There are also petroglyphs from the ancient tribes that lived there. There is community-based tourism. There is a little incipient that have started, but is more recent. But we have very little adventure tourism experiences there. So the aquatic trails or in paddling in this kind of canoes, the Hawaiian canoes, there is nobody does that there. So we see with this plan of taking Igor and Anna Canoa Paidégua to the mosaic, we see the perspective to integrate the touristic itineraries, integrating this conservation units where you can stop in the communities, you can do all the diversity of tourist attractions that the region offers, including local people, creating local development. And also we want this place to be a reference for sustainable tourism in the Amazon, so that we can achieve this goal of conserving and development at the same time, and also building conservation awareness that is so important, especially at this time. So just to finish my part, I would like to say, as a participant, shifting from government representative to a tourist and participant of the expedition, how amazing was this experience, and say that yes, we can, we can do it. Even I am not, how do you say, I'm not a paddler. I never paddled in my life, like long distance, very short distance. So I was able to do a lot of those 200, not the 200 kilometers, but because we have to alternate among people, but I could do more than 50 kilometers in 4 days, so I was very proud. So it builds your self-esteem, improves your self-esteem, create this sense of community because everybody has to paddle together so that the canoe can advance. It was very clear that everybody there left their problems, their cities, this urban stress, and were really engaged and happy to be there. So, and this is important that is, Igor said since the beginning that you can do it, you have no excuse, but you can do it. And when I was there and I saw the 3 children from them, Lucas and, can you say, Lucas and Maria sorry, were there with the children. So it was very inspiring to see their son with 8 years old, the other with 12, and the other with 15 years old, all paddling together as a family. So it's really nice. And
yeah,
To finish, we have these 4-minute videos that we like to show you a little bit about what was our 2018 expedition.
Recomiendo partición de rumbo norte. Se comparte mucha fuente con gente de muchos lugares diferentes. Es recomendable que todos vivamos esto, aunque sea una vez en nuestra vida. Es una linda aventura, una linda expedición y la gente que lo organiza desde corazón y es.
Eva, certeza já sonhou em mano Amazônia. Eu acho que o momento mais emocionante foi na hora que comecei a remar no rio e de repente, nossa, estou aqui. Agora mesmo estou remando no rio Tapajós e como é maravilhoso. É sensacional.
Eu vi a cidade no mar do meu mar. Eu vi uma aquele meio.
E aí, partimos chegando, abre essa paisagem, sabe? Muito rápido, floresta, toda essa esperança. Fazer essa expedição por esse rio maravilhoso, parece mais um mar doce, está sendo uma expedição.
Thank you.